What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Thrifty back with Thrifty PS Gamer Reviews. How are y'all doing? I have a full review of Expedition 33. The game has some accolades coming into this, right? This is a late review. I'm five and a half weeks after launch right now, and in 33 days, the game has sold 3.3 million copies. That is correct. That's not a typo. That's insane that Expedition 33, made by a team of roughly 33, actually made by a team of 33, and in 33 days, it's made 3.3 million in units sold. That's awesome. That's very, very serendipitous and very, very cool. So guys, real quick, before we dive in, let me know down in the comments, have you played it? Are you one of the 3.3 million players who've experienced the joy of Expedition 33? Are you looking for more insight on the game? Let me know in the comments below. While you're down there, just like last time, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, hit the bell notification so you constantly get notified whenever I release a video. Don't worry, I don't do a dozen videos a week, so you're not going to be getting pings all the time from my channel. But it truly does help out. The other thing you can do is support the channel financially by becoming a member. I thank you so much for those who decide to do that. It really does go a long way for $5 a month. With all that though, let's get back into the review. So if you've been around this channel for a while, you know how I do this. If you haven't, let me go over it. I go over graphics, story, gameplay, combat, music, and voice acting. The graphics. The game is absolutely gorgeous. It's stunning. The environments are beautiful. The artwork is so well done. The art direction, the color palettes, the different landscape designs, how there's so much variance between two separate areas. The work they did on the, I can't think of the name now, the underground waters, whatever it was called, the upside down water area. The work they did on that area is superb. There's so many places in the game where you just stop and go, dang, this looks really good. And just in case y'all think I'm here to gloss the game the whole time, there are a couple negatives when it comes to the graphics. The hair, it moves way, way too much when it shouldn't be moving. Like, everything around the characters is dead still, and that hair is still going. It's like it's like one of those like fashion model photo shoots. Like, very, very much. It's kind of distracting, but you do get used to it as the game goes on. The other thing, some of the facial animations look a bit glitchy in some of the cutscenes. Really in Act 2, going into Act 3, some of the cutscenes look a little glitchy with how the characters' faces respond to certain things that are being said or done. So you do have a couple things that may make you go, ooh, that doesn't look quite right. But overall, oh, and sorry, there's one area that is so dadgum dark that sometimes you can't even see the enemies and they get to surprise you because you're kind of just walking around in the bloody dark. It's dark everywhere. And it's really, really awkward when you're trying to like navigate through this area because there's no map and you come into it and you're like, I can't see anything. And you're like, it's okay. Once I get into combat, maybe it'll brighten up. Absolutely not. Good luck seeing animations. I hope they seriously patch this area, because it needs luminosity turned up to like a bajillion, because you can't see nothing. And so I thought it was my TV, and then other people were telling me they were having the same issues. So it could be all of our TVs, but there's one area in the game, very dark, very hard to see enemy animations, very hard to see enemies inside the level. But outside of that, the graphics are absolutely stunning, and this team punched so far above where I would expect a $50 title to punch. It grounded me. It floored me. I have no other words but awe and amazement. That's what I have to say about the graphics. Now, the story. The story starts off with Gustav. He is basically, um, man, shoot. He's basically at the event that happens once a year, or sorry, this event, it's called the Gomage. It happens once a year, and what it does is basically the paintress comes out, she writes down a number on a monolith off in the distance, and it constantly ticks down one per year, right? So it goes 100, 99, 98, 97, so on and so forth. Well, it starts off with her changing from the number 34 down to the number 33. That change kills every single person who is 34 years of age, point blank done, or older, but there isn't anybody older because all the other Gomages. Then, after the Gomage, the next day happens, and you go off on the expedition. I quite literally can't tell you much more than that, and I didn't tell you much in there already, but I can give you some highlights. There are relationships that you can have in the game. You are encouraged to talk to every single one of the party members and continue the story that way. There's a couple side quests that have heavy story beats to them. Same, like I said, with the relationships. They're not super deep. They're not super, engrossed. There are romancing options for two of the characters. And so the game is actually really good about navigating that. They do it in a very classy way, not in a very derogatory or nasty way. And so I appreciated that because it felt like it was organic. I like that. I like it when games go about it in a classy way, or art goes about showing romance or intimacy in a classy way, not in just a crass and in-your-face type of way. So kudos to the writers for the storytelling on that. But really looking at the story and those relationships gives you so much context into what's going on and where everybody's coming from. And I know that when looking at this game and looking at the way the writers and the writing team and the lead writer, the way she did this, you really feel like you're growing with the characters, and they do a really good job of putting you in a position to learn with the characters. They really give you a great job, or a great way to go about that. I can't really explain how they do that here, which really sucks, because it gives away a huge plot point, but they really do a good job of it. Of everybody else, they don't clue you in on what's going on. They make you figure it out with the characters. That's amazing. I love it when games do that. It's like a good old-fashioned whodunit. Like, you're trying to figure out this mystery, and I love that. I absolutely think the story is phenomenal. Gameplay. Wow. Let's start here, because there is a big glaring issue that I had with the gameplay of the game. And when I say gameplay, I mean traversal, movement through the story, right? Navigating through the world. What's the loop? What's the thing? Is it a looter shooter? Is it a just go and action, grab loot, upgrade character, move forward? Is it high strategic? What is it? And I think in this game it is a perfect blend of a lot of those. It is very strategic in how you set up your Pictos, which your Pictos are like upgrades that you get and that you can learn, and once you learn them, the whole party gets to use them, and you can equip them to the player or to the character, and it gives you different buffs and debuffs. It gives you extra action points on your turn. It gives you certain passive effects, certain trigger effects. Like if your health falls below 30%, you get shell cast on you. So it gives you a ton of different things, and those Pictos are found by exploring the world. Same thing with your weapons. It's not always just the weapon with the highest number makes the biggest boom. Sometimes Like for me, I figured out that fire damage is broken in the game, and it's amazing, and it makes you feel awesome when you swing that dang thing, and you see somebody catch a flame on them, or catch two flames on them, and you're like, yeah, I did that, and that's about to pay off here in a second. And when I get to combat, I'll explain why. But like, you have everything so intertwined that you might get a weapon that has a really large number on it because it's a couple levels higher than what you're using. And even after you level up the one that you're using, it's still kind of lower. But because it does fire damage, you keep it. Or because it does dark damage, or because it does lightning, or because it does heavy physical or ice. Like, you really get to curate what you're doing. And as far as I found, there's no way to sell your weapons. There's no way to like sell your items in the game. So they're just yours to keep. One of the other things I like about the gameplay is that everything seemingly feeds into combat. And so I'm actually going to kind of talk about combat now because they both kind of feed in to one another, right? So you have a very big portion of this that is given to combat and being combat focused. And I love that. I really do. I love it because it encourages me to keep finding things and knowing that when I find them, they will benefit me. I probably had every Picto equipped to at least one character at some point during the game. And I'm not kidding. Even the SOS ones that I didn't think were actually that good. And when you defeat bosses and mini bosses and world bosses, and when you defeat the hidden bosses, you usually get a Picto for it. And it's so good when you do, because then you spend the next 20, 30 minutes going, okay, I'm in this gameplay loop now, right? I'm here, I got the Picto, now what? Now you're going to spend 20, 30 minutes doing the strategic part of combat. Why? So then I can go and do the action part of combat where I make big number go boom. Like, it feeds every single part of the gaming experience and of the gamers experience with combat and with the gameplay together. I absolutely love it. There's also other stuff that you can do with the Luminas where, as I mentioned earlier, when you learn a Picto, you can take that Picto and then put it over into a Lumina, and you can actually upgrade the amount of Lumina that each character gets. And some Pictos will take 2 Lumina to equip. Some Pictos will take 20 Lumina to equip. And you'll find out as you progress through the game, there's a reason why. Because the one that takes 20 is a huge benefit, and the one that takes 2 it's a minor one. Sometimes still very, very good. Also with combat, I cannot believe I left this out. It is turn-based combat. But do not think that once you select what you're doing, that you can just put the controller down and walk away. That's not accurate. That's not going to happen. You can't do that. Because you will catch hands to the face. Guaranteed. And those hands will be from little mimes, and they will kill you. They will kill you dead. I'm not making this up. It happens. You have to be engaged in combat. So if you heard somebody say, "Oh, this is just turn-based slop," that person is dumb. There's no. This game is active turn-based if I have ever seen it. You select a skill, or you select a ranged attack, or you select a base attack, right? Then the player goes to execute those. You have the only one that doesn't require anything. There's 2. The base attack and the ranged attack do not require you to do anything. You just aim and shoot, and that's your ranged attack, or you select normal attack and it does the normal attack. Skills, on the other hand, when you select them, you have to enter into a QTE. And that QTE is different for every skill. Some are 1 button press, some are 2, some are 3. And depending on how you do, there's different buffs or debuffs. There's one of the characters actually has a fire-based skill that says if you fail it, you take damage from it. Well, when that stupid thing starts dealing 9,999 damage or more, You're dead if you mess up. So good luck. It's time to be an active participant in a turn-based combat system. And then, if you thought they were going to leave out the bad guys, oh my goodness, the enemies in this game, they will fake you out, they will trick you, they will do everything in their power to make you think you got it, and then throw a curveball at you. Because you have to parry. You have to dodge. Heck, there's even jumping. There's counterattacks. And they can be the difference between success and failure. And I'm not even kidding. The combat and the gameplay are so engaging. But there's another thing that helps them to be so engaging, and that's the music. The music for Expedition 33 is I don't even know what to say. Stellar, amazing, wonderful, fantastic, all of the above. It is literally one of the most complete soundtracks I have ever heard. And I mean that. And it's because of the way that he built it throughout. But it's the same thread all the way throughout. Or you'll go to the Gestural Village and then it has this really whimsical theme. Or you'll go over here to the arena and it has this dark, brooding theme. And like, everything works though. It's varied but similar. And I don't know, and I'm explaining this poorly. I am not an audiophile, but I love good music and good sounds and good orchestral productions. It's gorgeous. It's emotional. It literally brings something out of me. I was listening to it today, getting kind of in the headspace of the game because I haven't played it in a week because I beat it and I needed some time from it. And I listened to some of the soundtrack today because I wanted to kind of get back in that headspace. And because of the way the story was and because of the combat, because of the gameplay, because of the music, because of the way that everything in the game kind of came together, there was like emotion literally stirring in me listening to the theme song. It's hard to listen to some of these songs because they evoke such emotion. I cannot praise the soundtrack of this game enough. And not only that though, just the audio quality in general is absolutely wonderful. The way the weapons sound, the way the Pictos sound, the way the characters sound when they're talking and bantering back and forth. It's really, really, really well done. And I can't wait to see what this guy does next. I hope he sticks around with Sandfall Interactive. Last but definitely not least, the voice acting. This thing had a cast that it just was phenomenal. And I'm running out of freaking adjectives here. I don't know what else to say. The cast was amazing. The writing was so good. Jennifer Svenberg Yin, she does an absolute perfect job telling the story. She does a perfect job writing the dialogue. And the way they directed the actors and actresses to do their dialogues, it was so organic feeling. It was so normal. It was so much just like watching two actual living people have a conversation with one another. The anger, the frustration, the passion, the irritation that you get from even just two friends hanging out and talking with each other. So much irritation can happen in those relationships, and sometimes things are said that are hot and heated, and then afterwards the two laugh about it. I have personal friends like that. I have those exact scenarios in my own life. It was some of the realest writing I have ever seen. And they did amazing on it. This writing will make you feel things for a video game that you might not have felt in a long, long time. This game will be a Game of the Year contender. This game will be on the podium. This game has a chance, a good chance, at winning. I encourage each one of y'all to play it. I encourage everybody to go get it. It's $50. It's $50. The biggest negative is there is no mini-map. I hope I mentioned that in the video. If not, that's the biggest negative. I want them to give it to us as a picto or something that you can learn at the end of the game after you defeated the final boss and all of that. I want it to be something that like you can have so you can then go do a completionist run or something. But literally, that's it. The game's emotional. The game is weighty. The game is whimsical and fun and joyful. The game will make you think. This is a super long review. I really hope you gave it the time and gave me the time to watch it. Stay thrifty.